Business in the production of products, 15 profitable options. Business features. Most individual entrepreneurs are engaged in resale. It's easier than starting a food production business. But the production direction has significant advantages. Relatively small initial investment. So, for the production of fresh pastries at the initial stage, one professional oven will be enough for you. Delicious ice cream, 2 ice cream makers. You control the quality of the product yourself. And this is connected not only with the requirements of Sanpin, the tastier your product, the higher the demand and, accordingly, the profit. Entrepreneurs often abandon the idea of starting production for fear that the product will remain unclaimed. In fact, stores, including large supermarkets, are ready to take on the storage, transportation and marketing of really demanded goods. Therefore, the main thing for you is to conduct a deep analysis of the market and choose a promising direction. What products are currently lacking in Russia? Due to difficulties with imports, it is increasingly difficult for supermarkets to find elite cheeses and sausages for sale. High-quality vegetable oils are now in short supply. Closed restaurants provoked a lack of delicious fast food. But do not rush to implement the idea, study the details. Are there enough raw materials? Does it meet the required quality? What will be the cost price, market price? For example, the production of noble blue cheeses is so expensive that entrepreneurs are unable to establish sales. Therefore, it is better for beginners to concentrate on a popular, but uncomplicated direction. These are the ideas we have collected for you. Semi-finished products. If you want to get into food production and are looking for a business idea to implement at home, start making semi-finished products. Niche benefits. Long shelf life of the finished product. Low price of equipment for production. Simplicity of manufacturing technology. High, stable demand. You can make pancakes, ravioli, dolmas, cheesecakes. Recommendations from experts. Focus on high quality, natural products. Focus on high-income buyers. Bread. It is unlikely that when answering the question of what products are lacking in Russia, someone will remember bread. However, it is the most sought-after product. In addition, more and more Russians are choosing craft bread, made according to a unique recipe, with the addition of original fillings, not just fresh, but just taken out of the oven. Therefore, when planning a food manufacturing business, consider starting a mini bakery business. If you can offer delicious bread at an affordable price, there will be no end to buyers. Dairy products. Owning a farm is tempting, but too troublesome. Therefore, when starting a business, it is wiser to buy milk from the population, farmers. When forming the assortment, be guided by import substitution. Offer yogurts with natural fillings, high-quality hard, soft cheeses, cottage cheese, beer. Low-alcohol drinks are a popular but highly competitive product. A novice entrepreneur will not be able to compete with mass product factories. Therefore, create an original expensive product, find complex craft recipes. Such beer is willingly bought by restaurants, bars, hotels. Natural juices. It's easy to set up such a product business. The main thing is to find suppliers of fresh berries, vegetables, fruits. They will be farmers, gardeners from the villages closest to you. If you want to expand the range of citrus drinks, buy concentrates at wholesale basis. You can also expand the range of fruit chips, uzvar, berry jelly over time. Important, the production of such products in 2022 is especially in demand, as a number of manufacturers of juices and soft drinks left the market. Baby food. Dry mixtures, dairy, meat, fish, vegetable, purees, juices, cottage cheeses, yogurts, are in high demand among retailers. The baby food production line is often launched by manufacturers of dairy products and juices. But keep in mind, Sanpin places particularly stringent requirements on the quality of these products. Cereals. Domestic agriculture does not cover the need for cereals, especially given the love of Russians for buckwheat, rice. Therefore, engage in the supply of cereals from abroad. In Russia, organize packaging in packages of convenient size. If you want to launch large-scale production of products, consider the following business ideas. Production of canned foods such as Taurian breakfast. Production of flakes. Manufacture of energy bars. Production of semi-finished breakfasts, granola, muesli. Canned products. Since childhood, we have loved jams, pickled tomatoes, twisted forest mushrooms. But it's hard for citizens to find time to make homemade preservation. Shops offer alternatives, but it is still very difficult to buy a delicious product at an affordable price. To organize such a food production business, it is important to purchase mushrooms, vegetables and fruits from the population. This way you can keep the cost at a minimum level and offer attractive prices to the end buyer. Fast food. Delicious food, which is convenient to eat on the street, is appreciated by teenagers, students, office workers. For entrepreneurs, there are two main options for earning on fast food. Launching your own cafe. Production of semi-finished products for homemade fast food, for example, hamburgers, French fries. Coffee. When studying the production of products as a business idea, be sure to take a closer look at the coffee direction. Coffee is not only the most popular drink in the world, but also the main trend of the last few years. Russians have fallen in love with unusual coffee drinks and are ready for new tastes. To earn money, start a workshop for the production of unusual coffee, with the taste of alcohol, famous desserts, smoked, mixed with tea leaves. The field for experiments is large, and ideas can be spied on in other countries. Sugar. The demand for sugar in Russia is incredibly high. It is bought by the population, large industries, cafes, restaurants. At the same time, few entrepreneurs are engaged in growing sugar beets and making sugar within the country. Therefore, you have every chance to build a business on the production of this food product. Rent a few hectares of land. Sow the land with sugar beet. Harvest, process it into sugar. Sauces. Mayonnaise, ketchup, soybean sauce can also be made at home. But Russians prefer to buy a stabilized product in stores. It can be consumed immediately, stored for a long time. When launching the production of such food products, spy on business ideas in other countries. Classic mayonnaise sauce should also be present in the assortment. But unusual tastes will allow you to compete with large industries. Sauces with the addition of herbs, shrimps, ginger. Pasta, noodles, vermicelli, spaghetti are inexpensive mass food. Therefore, you will not lose by launching your own pasta factory. The main thing is to decide on the direction. You can release instant vermicelli, pasta from hard wheat, blanks for lasagna, vermicelli for children, in the form of figurines, numbers, cookies. Buying something for tea is already a tradition of most Russian families. Therefore, entrepreneurs always have the opportunity to make money on the production of cookies, even given the high competition in the niche. A workshop will be required to launch the idea. Therefore, it is better to look for an ad for the sale of a food business, so you will save a lot on the purchase of equipment. Purified drinking water. Up to 50% of Russians buy drinking water. Therefore, it is still profitable for entrepreneurs to engage in spilling, delivery of the product. To stand out among competitors, focus on the lineup. Water is in demand, saturated with minerals, has passed several levels of filtering. Drinking, but carbonated. Before starting a product manufacturing business, study the market, foreign experience in detail. Think over the idea to the smallest detail, because production is always a risk, but also a high return on success. How to open a language school, a business idea in the field of education. Relevance of the business idea for Russia, CIS countries. Surveys show that the main goal of a third of language school students in the CIS countries, including Russia, is to increase earnings. Indeed, knowledge of foreign languages is an important part of the qualification of a modern specialist. And since everyone strives to earn decently, the demand for courses will only continue to grow. The relevance of the business idea is confirmed by a simple fact. According to a VCM survey, 63% of Russians believe that in the modern world knowledge of foreign languages is vital, and 26% of respondents are ready to go to the desk right now. At the same time, if you plan to open language courses, do not limit yourself exclusively to English. Popularity in the country is gaining. Chinese, Hindi, Spanish, Arabic, French, Malay. The ideal option for business is to open a language school with the teaching of several of the most popular languages. There is also a growing demand for classes with native speakers, to develop correct pronunciation. Advantages and disadvantages of language courses as a business. Managing a language school is quite simple. Moreover, it is real even without knowledge of a foreign language, teaching experience. Hire INYAS graduates, form groups of students, make a profit. Other business advantages. Stable profit due to high demand. Quick payback. The ability to work around the world, online. The possibility of development, to the all-Russian, international network of schools. No restrictions on the use of authors' teaching methods. In fact, the only drawback of the niche is high competition. Due to the demand for language courses, schools are already open in almost every district of major cities. In addition, you have to compete with tutors. Therefore, new schools have to make a lot of effort to promote the brand. School format, target audience. When thinking about how to open a language school and drawing up a business plan, be sure to enter in the plans to obtain a license from the Ministry of Education. The license gives the right to issue certificates of completion of training. The graduate will be able to attach the certificate to the resume, which will seriously increase the chances of getting a decent job. After obtaining a license, decide on the format, online, offline or hybrid. If you have little capital, start with online learning. Determine the target audience, its needs. Formats of language schools. Courses for children and adults. Accelerated training. Highly specialized courses. Preparation for school, international exams. Corporate courses. How relevant is it to open language courses offline? The world is rapidly moving online, but the classic format of learning does not lose popularity. This is due to the shortcomings of online courses. It is difficult for students to motivate themselves. Training can be hampered by the instability of the internet connection. There are often difficulties with communication when working in a group. Offline training is especially relevant for children, for whom, in addition to knowledge, it is important to gain experience of interacting with peers, a mentor. Many adults are also more comfortable in real class. How to open your own language school, 5 key steps. Having understood the advantages of the idea, we proceed directly to the launch. Before the school opens the doors to students, you have to take 5 important steps. Choose a concept. Create formats or teaching methods for which students will terminate contracts with competitors. Run, for example, express courses with a native speaker teacher. Register a business. It is necessary, at a minimum, to issue an individual entrepreneur. This will allow you to obtain a license for educational services, rent a room, buy furniture. Even an online school needs an office, rooms where managers, methodologists, teachers can work comfortably. Find teachers, administrator. Experienced entrepreneurs advise to start a business on language training with staff selection. This is due to the need to provide additional training for teachers in order to unify their pedagogical approach. Engage in promotion. Create a website, profiles of the institution in social networks, set up contextual advertising in search engines. And get down to business. Recruit groups, schedule classes. It is better to adjust the schedule in the process, adapting to the needs of students. Startup capital, approximate list of monthly expenses. To open a language school, you will need at least 680,000 rubles. These are the costs of registration, rent, repair, furniture, promotion. When making a business plan for language courses, take into account the monthly costs. Employees' salaries 200,000 rubles. Payment of taxes 90,000 rubles. Utility payments 10,000 rubles. Rent 50,000 rubles. Thus, 350,000 rubles will be spent monthly to maintain the school. This amount should be taken into account when making up the price list of the institution. What income does business bring in language courses? Estimated monthly net profit, 150,000 to 200,000 rubles. But let's be honest, beginners rarely manage to earn such money. Often in the first months, new schools work at a loss. To get into a plus, hire an experienced marketer. Ideally, the project will pay off in 6 months. But in practice, the path to break even for startup entrepreneurs usually takes 1 to 2 years. 3 tips for the successful development of a language school. We have already figured out how to open an online language school or offline institution. And finally, we will give 3 tips from experienced brokers. Everyone should do their own thing. Therefore, without experience, do not try on the role of a marketer, and do not force teachers to perform the tasks of methodologists. Hire specialists for each position. The key to the success of the school is the professionalism of teachers. Hire experienced teachers, control their work, help develop teaching skills. Expand. One language school will never bring you millions of profits, so immediately plan to open a network of establishments. How to open beauty co-working from scratch, a plan with calculations. Features of the new format. Co-working is a space with fully equipped workplaces for masters of different directions plus comfortable waiting areas for customers. Hair stylists, makeup artists, manicure masters can rent a location here for a few hours, taking only tools and consumables with them. Benefits for masters. The ability to receive customers in different parts of the city. Savings. No need to pay rent if there are no customers. Vacation has begun, you need a day off. Useful acquaintances. Opportunities for collaboration with niche specialists. From the point of view of business, it is also profitable to open a beauty co-working. Almost free market. Such spaces have just begun to appear in Russia. 20% of filling the space is enough to quickly pass the break-even point and start receiving real income from the first months of work. The profitability of coworkings in large cities reaches 40%. The main advantage of business on beauty coworking is its stability, dictated by the stability of the niche. Comparison of the profitability of beauty coving and beauty salon. It is not quite appropriate to identify co-working spaces and beauty salons, these are completely different areas of business. At equal costs for renting premises, utilities, cleaning, advertising promotion, business on beauty co-working pays much less to employees. Thus, salons give employees up to 50% of profit, co-working, only 15%. This also affects the profitability of the business. This figure in the average beauty salon in Russia is 15%. But the profitability of co-working easily reaches 40%. The best location for beauty co-working. The ideal location of the space is the city center. In megacities, the location in the center of large neighborhoods can also be successful. Usually, business plans for opening beauty coworkings prescribe the following requirements for the premises. Area: from 70 square meters, one master needs to take 6 to 7 square meters for work. The ability to segment the space by allocating separate areas for hairdressers, lashmakers, reception areas, waiting areas. Availability of several bathrooms. Communications carried out, water supply to hairdressers, air conditioning, lighting. Pay attention to the design of the room. The more original, more unusual the design, the higher the chances of attracting customers. Furniture for the hall. When making a beauty carpeting business plan with calculations, be sure to calculate the cost of furniture for different areas. You will need reception desk, sofas, coffee tables, wardrobe system for the waiting area, professional chairs, bedside tables, mirrors for the main hall. The business on beauty coworking also needs equipment. You need to buy computer, phone for calling customers, maintaining social networks, internet router, printer, lighting fixtures, audio system, coffee machine, cooler. Great if you find funds for additional equipment, for example, LED lamps or dry heat. Not every master has them, so you can rent them. Where to look for customers for business on beauty coworkings. Beauty coworking, like any beauty business, is developing primarily thanks to word of mouth. You only need to prove yourself positively at the initial stage, and then the tenants will start coming themselves. To attract the first customers, we recommend launch advertising on social networks, carefully set up the target, covering the masters of the desired profile, geolocation. Pay for advertising posts to thematic publics, masters with whom you cooperate. Write to hairdressers, stylists directly, reporting on the opening of the location, the cost of rent. Look for interested specialists among competitors' subscribers. Be sure to create profiles on social networks so that masters mark the studio account, geolocation in their posts, stories. This way coworking will become popular faster. How much does it cost to open a beauty coworking? The initial investment will amount to 1 million to 2 million rubles. The amount of investment depends primarily on the premises, whether it needs major repairs, whether all the necessary communications have been carried out. To save money, rent a room that previously housed the salon. Additional costs at the stage of starting a business on beauty coworking. Registration of IE, LLC 10,000. Advertising, paid promotion, website creation 100,000. Payment for work for administrators, technical workers 115,000. How much can you earn on beauty coworking? The income of the beauty space owner fluctuates, depending on the load of the room. It, in turn, is influenced by the popularity of the institution, its location, the cost of rent. Beauty coworking is a profitable business, and if you doubt whether to open such an institution, think about the prospects for growth. You can additionally organize the sale of cosmetics, tools, create a coffee zone. If the area allows, coworking can become a favorite place for masters for master classes, courses. No beauty salon will give you such opportunities. How to start a business in paintings by numbers, what format to choose. Pros and cons of business ideas. Let's start with the advantages, there are a lot of them. The minimum starter investment is up to 300,000 rubles. Ease of implementation. You buy goods from the supplier, sell it to retail customers with a markup. The minimum fixed costs are 2 shift sellers and a small rent if you trade on an island in the shopping center. High percentage of return on buyers. The disadvantages include the instability of the niche. Such a hobby is popular now, but it is quite possible that in 3 to 4 years interest in it will weaken. However, you will have time to navigate and offer customers other, more relevant, sets for creativity. Work formats are how to make money on photo pictures. You can engage in pure resale, or you can make sets yourself. You can trade offline or sell paintings through social networks. It all depends on your desire. Online sale. Pictures by numbers are perfectly sold out on online platforms, so when drawing up a business plan, be sure to include a section on sales via the internet. It can be a single sales format or an additional one. You can sell through social networks, your own online store, on bulletin boards and thematic sites. An island in the shopping center. Renting 1 or 2 square meters will be inexpensive. The permeability in shopping centers is as high as possible. Thanks to this, the islands receive a large number of sales. Production of canvases. If you have been in the topic for a long time, you know, the choice of ready-made sets is small. Therefore, you can easily attract customers with unbeaten designs. Images for printing on canvas can be found on the internet, bought from the artist, created independently. Free online services will help you turn a photo into a scheme. Order canvas printing in copy centers so as not to purchase expensive equipment. You only have to buy brushes and paints. The latter will need to be marked with appropriate numbers. For this you will need a regular printer and self-adhesive paper. How much does it cost to open a business in paintings by numbers? Costs depend on the format of work, store size, quantity and variety of goods. Below you will find approximate calculations for launching an island in the shopping center. Costs at the start. When launching a business of producing paintings by numbers, be ready to lay out at least 262,000 rubles. Justification. Registration of individual entrepreneurs 7,000 rubles. Rent of premises 15,000 rubles. Equipment 150 minus 200,000 rubles. Purchase of consumables 20,000 rubles. Advertising, from 20,000 rubles. If you deal exclusively with resale, 100,000 to 150,000 rubles will be enough for launch. Monthly costs. Developing the sale of paintings by numbers as a production business, get ready for such monthly expenses. Rent 15,000 rubles. Purchase of consumables 15,000 rubles. Office maintenance 10,000 rubles. Advertising 10,000 rubles. Approximate monthly expenses will be 50,000 rubles. This amount will increase if you also buy batches of finished paintings for resale. The estimated monthly income of the island in the shopping center plus workshop for creating sets is 60-160,000 rubles. Accordingly, it is possible to return investments in 5 to 7 months. Business registration. Be sure to register as an entrepreneur. To register an individual entrepreneur, it is enough to apply on the Public Services website. You also need to open a bank account and apply for the transition to a simplified taxation system. List of main documents for registration. A general list of documents that will allow you to conduct official trade and make paintings as a business. Certificate of registration of individual entrepreneurs. Documents for the cash register. Certificate from the tax office. Lease agreement or confirmation of ownership of the premises. Permission from Rosporibnager. Fire inspection. Maintenance contracts with TMJ, UK. Employment contracts with employees. Choosing a room. For resale, it is important to choose a location with the highest cross-country ability, places where young people, mothers with children often come. If you are going to open an island in the shopping center, rent space near the supermarket, food outlets, children's entertainment centers, at the entrance. Selection of suppliers. Many companies are engaged in making paintings by numbers, modular paintings as a business. Therefore, you will definitely not have any problems with suppliers. But before signing the supply contract, check the quality of the goods, whether the complete set of sets, whether the printing on canvas is clear. Check the availability of product certificates. Discuss possible volumes of supplies, speed, personnel. To launch an island in the shopping center, you only need 2 shift sellers. At first, you can also be an accountant. Outsource a specialist later. The same applies to the marketer. Assortment of a retail outlet or online store. Offer customers canvases of different subjects and sizes. To make a popular assortment, open Yandex. WordStat, enter the query, pictures by numbers, and see which words, phrases follow next. From experience, we can say that the most popular subjects are the sea, mountains, urban landscapes, girls. How to advertise a store. If you do not buy ready-made business paintings by numbers, you will have to spend money on advertising. The most profitable promotion channels. Social networks, natural sales, target. Contextual advertising in search engines. Distribution of leaflets in art stores, gift shops. Tips on how to make more on photo pictures. A successful entrepreneur always improves his company. To increase revenues. Scale, open new points of sale. Make the kits yourself to save on purchases. Expand the range with beadwork, puzzles. If you want to minimize risks, buy ready-made companies together with Altera Invest brokers. And make a profit from day one. How to open a private security company from scratch, step-by-step instructions. Market monitoring. The first step is to get answers to the following questions. How many competitors work in the city, region? What services do they provide? Which niche remains unclosed, weakly closed? The higher the competition in the regional market, the wider the list of your services should be, the more thoughtful the USP should be. Registration of a legal entity. To open a security company, it is necessary to register a legal entity. The LLC will be perfect. To register a company, you must have charter, minutes of the meeting, the decision to establish an LLC, a letter of guarantee from the owner of the premises or a lease agreement for the premises, statement, receipt for payment of state duty, confirmation of opening a bank account. If you are going to provide armed protection, use technical means of protection. Your minimum authorized capital should be 250,000 rubles. 100,000 rubles is enough to provide other types of services. You can also work on a simplified tax system. To switch to the STS, submit a separate application. Licensing of activities. To open a private security company, it is necessary to obtain a license from the Ministry of Internal Affairs. The application will be approved if you can confirm availability of authorized capital consisting of personal funds of the founders, absence of foreigners among investors, absence of foreigners, entrepreneurs with a criminal record among the founders. The head has a specialized education. The presence of at least 3 people on the company's staff who have received a security guard certificate. The Ministry of Internal Affairs needs to provide copies of constituent documents, employee certificates, extracts from the Unified State Register of Legal Entities. On request, get ready to demonstrate certificates for weapons, other technical means of protection. Please note, storage of firearms requires the equipment of a special room. And police representatives will also definitely check this moment. Choosing a room. To implement the business idea, the location of the office is insignificant. The main thing is that the security can quickly go to the client. The following requirements are imposed on the room itself. Availability of several rooms, for receiving customers, storing equipment. The ability to install grills on windows, connect an alarm system. Finishing walls made of materials that can hold bullets, not ricochet. It's great if there's a recreation room for fighters, a spacious bathroom with a shower, a kitchen. Features of recruitment. The main thing you need to open a security agency is highly qualified employees. Hire fighters with experience to save time on training. Be sure to align the principles of their work with the principles of your company. The requirements for the rest of the staff are minimal. You will need a customer service manager, a cleaner, an outsourced accountant. At first, be sure to connect a marketer. He will help to organize an advertising campaign and attract the first customers. Attracting customers. Thinking about how to open your own private security company. Few people think that a security company created from scratch needs its own website. And completely in vain. Experience shows that most customers come to private security company via the internet. Someone saw an advertising banner. Someone found a page in social networks. Therefore, immediately create your own website and connect advertising. Your site should provide comprehensive answers to questions from potential customers. What services do you provide? How much do they cost? Why is your company better than competing? Word of mouth also works perfectly in the security niche. Therefore, tell about the company's services to relatives, acquaintances. Ask your customers to share positive reviews, so you will quickly form a customer base. Open a private security company from scratch. The cost of launching a project. Cost category. Amount, rubles. Business registration, 10,000. Rent of premises for the first month, 20,000. Internet, telephone communication, 2,000. Furniture, 30,000. Purchase of office equipment, 50,000. Purchase of equipment, weapons, 40,000. Staff salary for the first month, 170,000. Uniform, 20,000. Creating a business card website, launching advertising, 30,000. Total, 360,000. How much can you earn on a private security agency? Before opening a security agency, carefully calculate the profitability of the project. Experienced market players are convinced that high profitability can be achieved only by providing a wide range of services. For example, if you deal exclusively with the personal protection of private customers, the maximum profitability will be only 22%. Cargo protection will allow you to raise it to 30%. Alarm installation service will raise the indicator to 100%. If you work simultaneously in 3 directions, it is realistic to achieve a full return on investment in 7 to 8 months. Open a private security company from scratch or buy a ready-made agency. Risk comparison. The launch of a new company is always accompanied by risks. Legal violations. Hire a lawyer who will help to draw up the necessary documents for weapons, activities provided. Avoid violation of the law. Injury. As an employer, the owner of the company is obliged to compensate for labor injuries of employees, so deal with favorable insurance policies in advance. Lack of customers. A flexible pricing system. Advertising on different channels, including radio, magazines. Cooperation with bloggers will help to attract the attention of customers. Buying a ready-made business will help to avoid these risks and get a ready-made customer base. This is more profitable than opening a private security company, because you are buying an already operating company with a staffed staff, solved by legal issues. Prospects for the development of a security company. If the company does not develop, it degrades. Therefore, thinking about how to open a private security company, immediately plan and further scaling of the business. Think about what new services you can offer customers, in which cities you can open branches. Immediately target large customers. For example, offer your services to business and shopping centers. Go to celebrities, they may need a surveillance or personal protection service.